So this weekend we get the latest installment of the Sony Spider-Verse, without Spider-Man, by the way. Kraven the Hunter is going to be in theaters. It's going to be released in about 3,200 theaters, which is a little bit less than the last Venom movie, Venom: The Last Dance. But according to Variety, um, it's not projecting to do very well. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I mean, this is a trend, okay? You have probably the largest property at your disposal, which is Spider-Man. Now, granted, Sony entered into an agreement with Marvel Studios to use Spider-Man in the MCU. But since then, Sony has done these standalone Spider-Verse movies with the only character to see any type of success has been Venom. You had Venom, then you had Venom Let There Be Carnage, and then recently you had Venom The Last Dance, which I'll say this, in my opinion, they've done decently. Would have done better if Spider-Man was in them. Just saying. And then you had these other characters from the Spider-Verse. You had Morbius, which did horrendous at the box office. Then you had Madam Web, which was released last January, or this past January, 2024, which was just horrendous. I saw it. I waited for it to come out on streaming before I watched it, and it was bad. And now you have Kraven the Hunter. And this is from Variety. Box office, Kraven the Hunter aims for a week $15 million opening weekend. Kraven the Hunter could get declawed at its big screen debut. Again, you're launching a Spider-Man villain or anti-hero without Spider-Man in the movie. Why? It doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that the attraction is Spider-Man. The comic book spin-off set in Sony's universe of Marvel characters is targeting a paltry $13 million to $15 million opening weekend from 3,200 theaters. Based on projections, Kraven the Hunter could contend with February's Misfire. Oh, I'm sorry, I said it came out in January. It's actually February. Madam Web, which the only good thing about Madam Web was Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson. With a $15.3 million debut. For the I can't even pronounce that. Ignominious distinction of the lowest start among Sony-produced Marvel adventures. Ouch. Aaron Taylor Johnson stars as the eponymous anti-hero in the R-rated film, which faced a litany of pandemic and strike-related release date delays on its long and winding road to theaters. Kraven cost upwards of $110 million to produce. It was greenlit for $90, but ballooned after last year's writers and actors strikes, which ended up being considerably more than the $80 million price tag for Madam Web, but far less than rival studios like Disney or Warner Brothers. Typically, their big budget movies like this are somewhere around $200 million, if they're lucky. See Captain America: Brave New World, which is closing in on $500 million because of reshoots. Whereas Madam Web, far less than rival studios like Disney or Warner Brothers typically pump into superhero tentpoles. Kraven, the first in Sony's Spider-Man universe with an R rating, was co-financed by TSG. Okay, Kraven the Hunter explores the origins of Sergei Kravinoff, the comic book character's alter ego, including his rocky relationship with his crime lord father, Russell Crowe, and his quest to become the greatest hunter. Kraven is Sony's third Spider-Man adjacent superhero adaptation of the year, arriving a few months after October's Venom: The Last Dance. The Alien symbiote trilogy, led by Tom Hardy, has proven itself critic-proof and commercially successful, although the third and final movie didn't live up to the box office heights of its predecessors. Sony has otherwise yet to produce a comic book hit with characters. I.e., I say it again, no Spider-Man. The studio also stumbled in 2022 with Morbius, a vampire-inspired thriller with Jared Leto as the fanged villain, one of Peter Parker's notorious foes. Also this weekend, we have... They're saying it's anime, but technically it's not anime because it wasn't created in Japan. Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. That's from Warner Brothers. It's aiming for single digits of 6 million to 7 million from 3,500 cinemas in its opening weekend. Oh, man. You know, they banked on Gladiator 2 and Wicked, but now those are even fizzling out here 3 weeks after their debuts. So, there you have it. Kraven the Hunter comes out this weekend. I might try to find the time to go see it. Maybe. Possibly. But again, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, to pardon the phrase. But Sony, if you want to build a Spider-Verse, put Spider-Man in it. I mean, yeah, you've got, you know, the two animated Spider-Man features that I thought were okay. They were decent. I will probably most definitely see Spider-Man Noir when it comes out because it's got Nick Cage in it. I mean, who doesn't like Nick Cage? But Kraven the Hunter. Comment down below. Tell me, you gonna go see it? Or are you just going to say, no, not worth my time? While you're at it, please take the time to like, subscribe, share this video out there. Those are the 3 ways you can support this channel. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. And with that, I will see you guys